Welcome everybody to Shoot the Shit, episode 2, Electric Boogaloo. Today, I have once again my friends Daniel and Jordan joining me. We are gonna talk about gaming and tech this week and shoot the shit. How y'all doing?
Good,
I'm a
just
butthole.
good.
Just good?
Just
Oh my
good.
god.
Oh, you can't just.
Specifically
Oh
just-
my. Oh my god.
You piece of shit.
At least you're not a butthole road.
Yes. It's also important to note that Jordan's having a wardrobe malfunction right now. So
A wardrobe.
we just have a picture of his house instead.
That's exactly why it's just bricks. His house
Please
just
visit
bricks.
me.
There's no rooms or anything. It's just bricks.
You'll know when you found the place by the smell.
And this is my house. Hold on, everybody.
Oh,
This
wow.
is my house.
Ah,
I am currently in my This is my vacation apartment.
one of his
okay?
homes.
Oh,
Ooh.
absolutely. Yeah, and I believe we've been demoted. Last week we were at Kaikendakok, a tower, and now we are homeless with a cat.
In the grips of a beast.
You are homeless with a cat in the city of Valletta in Malta.
know.
Which is
What was that? Baleta?
yeah, Valletta.
Oh, okay.
And I mispronounced it for the first day because it has two L's, and I'm like, well, that's like just like Spanish, Valletta, but no.
No.
People were offended when I said that. for
Were
some
they
reason.
actually?
It was one of my mom's friends. It's like, oh yeah, just correct you, but I'm like, dang. I wonder what the bus guy thought earlier when I had to ask for directions for Valletta.
Oh god, I bet you offended the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's
but-
That's not where I live.
Foreigners. So,
That's where my cousin lives. That's where the poor people live.
fucking wild.
All right,
Okay.
let's get right into it. Before we begin through the topics, how are y'all going through your video game book club playthrough of Hollow Knight?
Crushing that shit.
Hey,
Dude, I'm
how many
almost
how
done
many
with Hollow
how many
Knight.
hours in are you, Jordan?
23.
Damn.
In a week.
In a week.
Almost an entire day of that week was dedicated for all of that.
God damn.
It's called Hollow Knight because at the end you are hollow.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a night.
Nope. Nope, you're hollow. And I'm only got like 4 or 5 hours in it because I'm in holiday, so and it's not available for the Nintendo Switch. If it was current, like it's going to be.
I mean, you could always do Steam Remote Play.
Yeah.
On my laptop.
What the heck?
I didn't even bring a controller. I will be doing
Where's
like
the dedication?
Well, what's 1,000
played-
miles?
I'm playing Breath of the Wild, so it's like I got entertainment.
It's
For, like,
basically the
the-
same thing as Hollow
Ah.
Knight. Yeah, I'm about
Yeah, you
7
have-
hours in.
How you liking it?
I actually had no idea that it was going to be like Dark Souls. That surprised me a lot, and it's pretty sick. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it.
I didn't know it was. I knew it was going to be like Dark Souls, but not in the way it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I expected it to be more like a straightforward, and that what interested me. But I'm glad it's not.
Like I think what's getting me the most right now is the kind of the way they tell the story, and that like you have no idea what the fuck is going on even though you've been playing for hours.
Right.
Like, I'm like,
Whatsoever.
what am I here for? What am I doing? All I know is killing. That's
Right.
it.
All I know is killing. All I know is that.
Man, some crazy shit happens. You're just this random dude who walks into this ancient kingdom and just starts ruling over it, basically.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's doing it for the waifu. Have you seen Hornet?
Oh, no spoilers, guys. No
It's not.
spoilers.
It's
I'm
not.
not a
Nobody knows.
And
Okay.
that's-
That's
it's
all I'm gonna say.
kidding.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, this week I'll probably play the crap out of it because what I saw, I really like, and I really was down to continue playing. But
Yeah.
I basically got the first like spoonful of this soup, and I'm like, I want that soup.
I have
Yeah.
to say, like, out of the first 7 hours that I've played, 5 of those hours were in the same day. So
Yeah,
I was
for-
just like, oh, I'm gonna play Hollow Knight, get started, and then, oh, it's 1 a.m. Shit, I have work tomorrow.
Yeah, those
It
4 hours
gets
were all on the same day for me too.
Those 23 hours were all the same thing.
Jordan just doesn't sleep. That's why. That's what,
Yo,
he
he's-
played so much that his face broke.
So much
That's why-
exploration.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Alright, let's move on to the esports this week. It's a busy weekend.
Honestly.
There's a lot of shit going on this weekend, but let's start with the one that was wrapped up yesterday, with the E-League Street Fighter V playoffs. Let me just hop on over here with my screen share so I can show you all the top 8. So this weekend was the playoffs for the Street Fighter V E-League Invitational, and I was actually surprised that this ended yesterday because I thought they were gonna do top 8 to top 4 and then have the top 4 on a different day in the weekend. But what they did was they had the first half of the top 8 and then they did the top 4 later in the evening after a break, which was a different format. I'm not used to tournaments ending on Fridays, which was that was a little bit weird, but you know, just TV scheduling things. I'm pretty sure that TBS, there was no way in hell TBS would allow esports to take up a Saturday or Sunday slot.
I mean, they
Ooh, it's
did,
actually
but with
on TBS.
CS:GO.
Yes, this was on. Oh yeah, that's right. CS:GO had a like a, I guess, prime time slot for when the finals was happening.
Yep, especially for the for the for the league. I don't think they did it for their major, but for their league, they not only had prime time. There were like at least one match on TV per day on the finals. Yeah, unlike the top 8. Or yeah.
And then
Wow.
one of the interesting
So we'll have-
things. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, it's just a joke. We'll have Saturday night CS. I'm gonna start a fantasy CS league.
You gotta pick your players. Gotta get the good draft.
Got to.
But yeah, in E-League, this is just the start of a crazy fighting games weekend. So this weekend for fighting games, we have E-League, we have Combo Breaker, and then we have Red Bull. I'm gonna butcher this. Is it Kumite? I don't know how to say that city. Do you know how to say it, Daniel? You've been to France before.
That doesn't mean to speak French.
That's not how that works.
Oh. If anything, I'm gonna say kumite, but
Yeah,
that's
kumite,
not.
that doesn't sound French, right? But that word doesn't look French at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and in the Street Fighter V playoffs for E-League, it was really interesting top 8 because all 8 players in the top 8 played different characters, and that doesn't happen because in fighting games usually the characters are organized out into tiers, and then you have the top tier characters and like the lower and mid tier ones. But in Street Fighter V is kind of all over the place right now, and it's just like the best player is gonna win no matter what they're playing generally.
Now, are there any reigning champs to look out for? Are there any upsets in the works?
I gotta shout out to my boy Punk, because Punk the Alpha has won another premier tournament, and I gotta say this kid's like, I want to say this kid's like 19 years old, and of the 4 big tournaments that he's entered in this year, he's won. So it's the 4th tournament in a row. This guy is a monster. He just won DreamHack Austin a couple weeks ago, and he is currently ranked number 1 in the Capcom Pro Tour. Like, this kid is a monster, and just yesterday he won 150 grand. Like, no problem.
150 grand
Yeah,
playing
but it's
Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter.
Goddamn,
It's
Punk.
the future is now. Like it is nuts.
Way to go.
Yeah, it's like fuck college. I'm just gonna go make my first 10 years of salary in 2 years, and then I'm gonna go worry about the rest later.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, and it's only like, it's only a few years away before college start giving them a lot more scholarship, because some already do
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
lot more scholarship for esports. So that then at that point you won't even have to sacrifice your education or anything. You'll have a scholarship for esports.
Yeah, I know.
I can see it.
League of Legends is starting to do that, and Heroes of the Storm, Riot and Blizzard are both have the university leagues for their games, and they're like really, really highlighted, especially compared to the pros.
Yeah.
I can see it at Yale now. Like, oh, you got in with a HOTS scholarship.
I'm the CS:GO pro, you know.
You're gonna
Get
have
the hell out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna have cliques forming based on games. Except honestly, when I was at A&M, that was starting to happen. Like you had the League of Legends players, you have the fighting game players, and then you have the shooter players, and then you had like the 3 StarCraft 2 players.
The dwindling.
Hey, it was
And you
a
don't
thing.
talk to
It
those
was a
guys.
thing back then. Okay, it was a thing.
Yeah, you were one of those.
One of 3.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to E-League, Punk's storyline is actually really interesting because, as you can see here, he made it through the semis into the winter finals where Phenom beat him, and that was very unexpected because Punk is a monster and he's been destroying everything in his path. So Phenom knocked Punk down to the losers finals where he then faced Fudo. And Fudo was the last Japanese player standing in E-League, so, the entire country of Japan's fates rested on Fudo's shoulders, and funny enough, everybody thought that the way things were going to go is that Punk was going to knock Phenom down, and then Fudo was going to beat Phenom in the losers finals to go through the grand finals, but that wasn't the case. And then for those who don't know, Fudo is basically a Street Fighter god in Japan. Like, he's been playing since Street Fighter 2. He's been around forever. Whereas Punk and Phenom, they're the young bloods. Like, they probably didn't play Street Fighter before Street Fighter 4 because they were too young.
Yeah.
Like, that's how young these guys are. I think Punk and Phenom are around the same age, 19, 20, something around that. But Punk pretty much, lost the winners finals, ran it back to win the grand finals. And E-League had a really strange format for the winner advantage because going into the grand finals, Phenom had a 1-game advantage over Punk, and it was a best of 7. Usually the way it goes in fighting games is that the person who comes from the winner's bracket has a full game advantage, and they play best of 5s in the finals. So, for example, if Punk had beaten Phenom in the first best of 5, then technically Punk would have knocked Phenom down into the loser's bracket, and then they would have played another best of 5 in the grand finals. But, TV scheduling doesn't allow for that, so they had to put it on a more reliable timeline, I guess. So a lot of people are really salty that Punk won that easily because in a normal tournament, Punk would have had to play another series after beating Phenom once.
Yeah, exactly. I do see these playoffs are sort of like weirdly arranged. But I mean,
yeah,
I don't know much about Street Fighter 5, and like,
the interesting,
I'm glad Punk won.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that pretty much every single fighting game finals works that way, in that the person who comes from the winner's bracket has a full game advantage over the losers. But we're talking about TV, so we can't do anything about the scheduling. It's like TBS only has a certain time block for Street Fighter, so after that, then it's not like a baseball game. They're not gonna cancel the show. They're gonna cut it off because it's fucking video games to them, right? So that's how that went. But I just wanted to show one clip of the finals where Phenom and Punk were tied in rounds, and this was tournament point for Punk, and Phenom made a $110,000 mistake, and I'll just let y'all see it, and then we'll go over it.
And now he has the offense. You don't see that clean offense from Punk that you usually expect, right? Nice punish.
So we got Punk on the right, Phenom on the left.
Risky sweep. Could Phenom give away the tournament
So
here?
we got Punk beating on Phenom, but then he turns it around, and then right here, okay, right there. Let me show y'all that again. So pretty much what happened is that Punk was going on Phenom, but then he did an activation of his V trigger, which got him out of the combo. As you can see here.
Oh my
So he
God.
started his combo, and then right there when he jumped,
Yeah.
he had fucked up his
Yeah, he
combo.
just
Because
went
when
Super
Karen's in
Saiyan.
the air, well, yeah, he goes Super Saiyan and he starts to do more damage. Like you look at Punk's HP right now, he's chunked. But right here, where Karen's flying through the air, and then basically what Punk is supposed to do next is as Karen is falling, what Nikali is supposed to do next as Karen is falling is that he needs to punch her so he can keep the combo going, because as you can see down here, he had a full critical art meter. So if he had continued the combo, he would have won this, and then he would have tied up the series. So essentially this right here, this jump right here, that jump is a $110,000 mistake, because Phenom jumped and then Punk countered him and then just completely finished him off.
Yeah, that just gives.
You see
Yeah,
on his
that
face
just-
too.
Yeah, you literally saw it in his face. He just got up. He was mad, like mad with himself, and not mad with what happened, but just
Yeah,
like,
he knew it was
wow.
over at that point. Because
yeah.
at that level, you can't make those mistakes. There's no way.
No, you just give so much more. Technically, you're giving Punk so much more time to react because he's able to hit the ground and like just
Yeah, be pretty much immune when you're on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can't do anything there.
Oh.
All right.
Truly, a feat as exacting as any sport, perhaps even more so in its unforgivingness.
But I'm like, it's interesting to see how Phenom didn't destroy, but just like score-wise destroyed Punks on the winners final.
Yeah.
And then you think that like on the grand finals it'll be similar, and it would have been had that not happened.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of people are hating on the format, because in any other situation that would have been a reset, and then they would have played another best of 5, 0-0, first to 3, and then that's what would have decided it. But instead, it was decided by a best of 7. But I mean, truthfully, like Phenom beat Punk the first time pretty convincingly, but when at that level, it's harder to beat somebody twice than it is to beat him once, because. You've shown, even though you beat him in a convincing fashion, you showed off your moves. Like,
I mean, and it happens in all games. In CS:GO, you show off your tactics. In Dota, you show off like, how your comp plays and what roles every single game, and all the time it happens in real sports too, where you'll see like it technically supposed to play out the same, but then it just something happens, some adjustment here.
and then they take advantage of it, and then it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Any closing thoughts on E-League?
I don't know much about Street Fighter 5, so yay.
I'm glad the young blood is representing, because this year's gonna be a crazy Evo if the young dudes keep doing this well. I don't know. I have no idea who's gonna win Evo this year. It's gonna be nuts.
Nice.
All right, moving on to the Manila Masters. We got a Dota 2 tournament in the Philippines, repping the home.
In the Philippines,
So we got the
IG loses.
yeah, we got the playoffs going here, and there've been a lot of upsets happened yesterday. So pretty much the first round of the quarterfinals, the winners went pretty much as expected. OG beats out NP. Newbie beats Secret. Nobody expected them to win anything. IG beats Clutch. And just so y'all know, Clutch Gamers is the only Filipino team that made it to pretty much this tournament, because Filipino teams aren't that good, but I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like, yeah, go Philippines.
Yeah, they're the best. But yeah, so pretty much everything in the winners bracket, you know, nothing too surprising here. It's the losers bracket where things get crazy. So, for anybody that hasn't been following Dota 2, Team NP
Like
and
me.
Team Faceless are pretty new teams. They're not new players, but they're new kind of organizations that have been put together by players after TI6 last year. So, basically in this round, the losers round 2, NP and Faceless were both expected to lose, which was mind-blowing that they both won. So IG, you know, it's a scary team out of China, and then NP is this NA team that nobody ever expects to win. A bunch of fan favorites, but people don't think that they're that good. And then down here you got Team Faceless. It's a very global team. You got players from Southeast Asia, and then you also have a player from Germany on the team named Black, and they're also fan favorites, but you know they haven't been at form for a while.
There's a reason they're fan favorites, and that's
Yeah.
because the fans want them to upset. But you
Yeah.
know, it's an upset.
I mean, it's crazy because Faceless beat OG. And OG, this team is nuts because they have won 4 majors. And there have only been, I want to say 6 or 7 Dota majors, and they've won 4 of them. Which is insane if you think about it.
Yeah.
They're like the nip of old. Oh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have made that reference. Feels bad.
Yeah, no,
So
I don't know
tomorrow-
about Dota, so
Yeah. the domination isn't as crazy as Nip's domination back in 2013. But so tonight we got the top 3 happening here. We got EG versus NP, and then we got Newbie versus the winner of the 2. So if anybody wants to check out some crazy good high-level Dota, it's going to be really late tonight. You're going to have to stay up until like 5 a.m. if you want to watch this, but it'll be on later.
no, I'm good. Well, late tonight for you, it'll be probably for me whenever
yeah.
I'm on a flight.
It'll be early in the morning for the EU folks.
Yes, and I'm gonna be flying, so not for me.
And then up next in this ridiculous weekend of esports, we got Combo Breaker. It is a fighting game tournament in near Chicago. There is any and every fighting game. I'm just gonna scroll through the streams here real quick. We got Killer Instinct, we got Street Fighter, we got more Killer Instinct, we got Tekken 7, we got Injustice 2. We have, what is this? This is Marvel versus Capcom 1 or Marvel versus SNK? Like, what the hell? This is such old games. They got all
Yeah.
sorts of fighting games. Let me see if I can get a list. Alright, this is a list of every fighting game that's going to be at this tournament.
Bro, Hala, really?
of
That's
them.
pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. You even got Chicago's famous mystery tournament. They have a mystery game very similar to PAX for anybody that follows PAX, the Megathon. They do a random game, except it's a fighting game, obviously. I really hope that they're doing ARMS. I don't think they're doing ARMS, but I really hope they are.
I don't think because it's not out yet, and I really doubt Nintendo wants to put out ARMS from the beginning. But hey, next year, I'm pretty sure next year it will be considered.
Yep, so this is a good weekend to be a fighting game fan. There's all sorts of tournaments, and moving away from Combo Breaker, going right into another one. We have, oh man, this fucking name, Red Bull Kumite? Red Bull Kumite? Kumite? This is another Street Fighter V tournament out of France. I believe they've wrapped up for the day. They'll be finishing up tomorrow. And there's a bunch of pros that came from E-League and are that traveled both to Combo Breaker and the Red Bull tournament. I'm just gonna call it the Red Bull tournament because I don't know. I don't know what to say for that word. And it's nuts because those players flew out to Atlanta because that's where E-League's studio is. So they flew out to Atlanta, and then pretty much right after that tournament ended, they're flying out to Chicago. They're flying out to Europe, which is nuts. Those players must be exhausted.
Yes, that must be crazy.
But all sorts of fighting games this weekend. A lot of things to watch if you like to follow esports. And then I'm gonna go into this next article that you added, Daniel. I don't know anything about Magic.
Yeah. Do you know who Amas is, at least?
Yeah, I know Maz.
All right, so little backstory, because this is not the first time Wizards of the Coast, the people who create Magic, do this. Back in 2013, Day 9 started doing a show called Spellslingers on the Geek and Sunrise channel, which was just him playing casual Magics with some Magic folks. And on the downside, Day 9 also streamed a little, Day 9's Jean-Paul, streamed a little Magic here or there, but he was still mostly Hearthstone. He gets an invite to the Pro Tour, and everyone was like, what? And he didn't make sense, because Day 9 is good on Hearthstone, but he's not like a pro that's constantly in tournament. He's not grinding Hearthstone crazy. So Day 9 gets 1 win, 5 losses, and drops. He's done. And everybody was like, this idiot's terrible. Now, Amas this year started playing Magic Online. Started doing drafting, which is similar to Arena and Hearthstone. And not only that, he's in the top 1% on his elo in Magic Online for limited, for the Arena equivalent of Magic. And he gets a special invite. Usually for the Pro Tour, you have to be invited by winning a tournament or winning pre-TQ, a Pro Tour qualifier, or winning the Grand Prix, or placing high on the Grand Prix, which is the step down. A step down from the Pro Tour for Magic. A special invite has only been seen since 2013, and on 2013 it was just a marketing idea, let's try it out. This one seems like a promise, like this guy is drafting online and is wrecking it, just wrecking everybody. The thing is that the Pro Tour also has standard, which is sort of like Hearthstone's constructed. I believe they're also calling it standard. So it's half and half of that, and I'm looking forward to it. Magic community has a huge backlash. At least the common folks like us, because they're like, oh, why does he get a special invite? Like, the thing is that the guy is insane. He's great at Hearthstone. He's wrecking it on Magic Online. I'm excited to see how well he does it, and it's all a marketing move to sort of grab players from the bigger pool that is Hearthstone into Magic, because Magic's a little hard pill to swallow. The thing is that it's great that he's invited. It's great that might bring new people to Magic, but again, Magic's a hard pill to swallow. Magic's really hard to tune in and start following.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is.
I tried watching it a couple times, and you tried teaching me a couple times. Do not understand Magic.
Yeah, no, I know you like to jump into the deep end of things and then figuring your way out, but this is like jumping into just like a volcano.
Yeah,
and hoping
Magic
to
is
learn
insane.
about the volcano.
It's not like Hearthstone, you just play a card every single turn. Magic, you have to know what you're gonna do 10 turns ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Magic it's like chess in that way, where you have to like plan out turns in advance and plan out reactions. Magic is like poker in that you have to kind of try to guess what's in their hand based on the way they play, but with poker it's a little bit not easier, but a little bit straightforward. I mean, I don't know about much poker, but you can call bluffs based on money. On Magic, they could have not any number of combination of cards, but you really have to play around to your house. You really have to play like Magic is a complex game, and I like that Amas is just trying to go for it, trying to do it, and I'm glad that he's enjoying the invitation and he's asking for pros help already. He's trying because pros in Magic usually they meet in a giant team a week or 2 weeks before the pro tour. They just rent out a huge Airbnb, whatever it is,
Boot camp.
basically 8, 9, 10 hours of for 2 weeks,
God.
10 hours of Magic, and it's all
That's
and
gotta
they're
be
testing it out.
exhausting.
They're testing it out. Like they're trying weird combinations. They do a bunch of shortcuts. Like it's not even 10 hours of proper play of Magic. No, it's 10 hours of trying to figure out the format, trying to figure out what's the best. Uh, so I'm excited for Hamas. I want to see how well he does. I want to see which which pro tour team picks him up to test out with him, and I really want I really want it to turn out good so that all the naysayers, because a lot of pros are totally down for this. They didn't like it when Day 9 did it because it's like
exposure.
Day 9 wasn't. Yeah, but they're happy that they're inviting like actually good people, and hopefully they come and fuck among me who were like, oh, this bullshit and whatnot. Do realize that this is fine when they do it on a specific person that is handpicked because they're good. Not like Day 9 did it because he was like, big community or anything, no, but just because they're good. So, and this will be in July, so it's still a couple months away, in Kyoto, but expect to see, if you're gonna see a mass Twitch stream, you're probably gonna see a lot of Magic now.
Yeah, you got to get the Hearthstone players to check a Magic out. I think it'd be good for the scene.
Oh yeah, I think, and especially Wizards of the Coast just last year announced their digital development team and whatnot as sort of like a in-house digital development. So expect Magic Online to get like a complete overhaul within a year or two, and to be more accessible, to have at least a path to learn for when people want to check it out.
I do hope that Wizards of the Coast tries and figures out like how to get players that aren't so familiar with Magic, that are very uncomfortable with diving into the deep end, and honestly like spending the money. Like Magic's not exactly the cheapest game to jump into and be able to expect like performance out of without spending any money. Like that's really hard to pull off.
Exactly, and they're slightly doing it on Magic Online, but the entire launcher and application, it's a complete overhaul to allow for something like that to happen. But I think esport has been putting the pressure for a long while. I mean, Magic's been the first to be on TV. They were shown on ESPN like back in the 90s. And even after ESPN deal died, they've been streaming finals since like 2003, and they stream like full. Then they stream the top 8 since like 2000. Like Magic's been pioneering a little bit here and there.
They just haven't been,
But
breaking through to the top tier of esports. Yep.
And now that esports is putting the pressure, huge pool prices, huge numbers, Magic is basically being told to step it up because there's clearly a market.
Yeah.
They just need to find how to tap into it.
Yeah. Nowadays, you got to step up or die, pretty much.
So that's that. Watch MS. Maybe that'll teach you Magic.
All right. Moving on to the next topic. GTA 5 role playing. Have y'all heard of this yet?
I read it. I don't follow these Twitch streamers enough to have, but I read the article and like, I'm not surprised.
Isn't it the one where a guy he dresses up as a cop And he goes around enforcing law in the world of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, so how it works is basically there's this server on GTA 5 that, they're trying to get a bunch of streamers in. It's called the State of Emergency GTA 5 RP server. They're having people stream it, and there's a bunch of people, they're being criminals, they're causing trouble, or they're just like hanging out and talking to each other and pretending to be citizens of the city. And then my personal favorite is Sheriff Eli. I don't know if y'all have heard of his stream yet. That's the dude that you were talking about, is dressed as a cop, and he's pretty much like, answering distress calls and just arresting people and stuff. It's hilarious.
Obeying every traffic sign.
He does. It's so funny because when he's driving around, and he's not using his sirens, he's, stopping at red lights and staying in the lane. And I think it's a completely different way to play GTA 5. And I'm sure Rockstar is just scratching their heads like, what the fuck? Like, people actually enjoy this?
And a big part of the enjoyment comes from the streaming of it, because then you get the clips, then you get the highlights, then you get the interaction between two streamers. So you can go watch, let's say, Eli, pull over lyrics, so you can have two streams, see how they both react. I love it.
Yeah, and I've watched Sheriff Eli's stream a bunch, and he is great at his character, and I'm glad that he's getting all this exposure. He totally deserves it. It's fucking hilarious. And then you'll also, I have to show this clip. You also have shit like this happening.
Bracelet, and on the other side, I'm not even sure of the jeweler, but that is a delicious watch. You'll see that she offsets the two of them. She's saying, you know what? I'm not a robot. I'm not a communist. I can think for myself. I'm not a socialist. I'm not the reason we lost Vietnam. I can wear whatever I want on my wrist. I'm not gonna follow your orders, Dad. You can't make me do what I want, Dad. And then you move up to her shirt. Her shirt is.
I don't think we can hear that right now.
That's alright, stream heard it. So you basically got a bunch of random ass characters just saying stupid shit and just hanging out with each other. Y'all should just watch this clip in the article.
I have the article pulled up. And I mean, I read the article, the fact of like people are calling in like a suicide, and I mean, it's a video game, you'll get respawn basically.
Yeah.
But they're like calling in police that like, I'm gonna kill myself unless you go out on a date with me. Like, what?
Sheriff Eli will be there.
Sheriff Eli.
Dude, don't cause trouble.
This is hilarious.
Alright, next up we got a delay of Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know if y'all are excited about this game, but I am very excited about this game. And honestly, I'm not sad that it's delayed. I'm glad that they announced it now rather than, at E3 or after, worse, after E3. I'm glad that Rockstar is coming out and being like, look guys, don't expect this to come out in the fall, because that was the original expected launch for Red Dead, and now it's spring 2018.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. It probably needs a little bit more time to cook. And I'm glad they took this time.
You're still gonna get the content from E3. You're still like, obviously they're not gonna. This doesn't mean that it's not gonna be shown in E3. If anything, they're gonna just maybe even have like a tentative month. Maybe they'll be like March or something, But I want to see more game studios just be so open about this. I want to see more game studios not only choosing to delay a game, because a lot of people have been waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot.
Yep, since 2010, since the first one came out.
And like the technology now, it's insane. And that one was pushing the technology back there. This one has to push the technology nowadays.
Just looking at these screenshots, the game looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Wow, they've got a good forested biome. That is one thing I would like to see in a new Red Dead. The old one was a lot of desert.
See, in the new Red Dead, I want to be able to like properly hijack a train and just like hold up the whole thing and just like take
yeah.
money from every single person on the train.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm the tax collector. Everybody just spit in the head.
Or you're gonna get shot. That's just how that's just how it goes. Sheriff Eli's not gonna stop me here. Sorry.
Maybe on the online version of the game where the RP when the RP server.
Yeah, then he can be a real sheriff. He'll have a lasso, get all the bad guys.
Ah.
But honestly, the screenshots that they shown, like, I'm excited to see it on E3 now.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Like-
I mean, there's no way it's not gonna be at E3. It's gonna be there. It's just
Rockstar, it's a a studio that really takes their game seriously. They don't care about marketing deadlines. They don't care about any of that bullshit. They're like, the game's gonna be out when it's out. The game's gonna have all these features. They're not pressured by anybody.
yeah.
I mean,
Rockstar releases the game when it's done, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's greatly to their credit too.
Yep. I mean, I think what I appreciate the most is that they're honest. They're just like, look, like, we're not going to release a broken game. Like, there's a bunch of other companies that would release that broken game. And that's definitely not something Rockstar would do.
EA and Mass Effect. Like, honestly, all you had to say was Mass Effect Andromeda is delayed till June. And people would have been like, oh. Instead of all this freaking just like
What's wrong with the
shitstorm that you
faces?
their eyes were like paper, just tape there, you know. You know what would have happened if Red Dead Redemption 2 came out this fall? Their eyes would have been like papers, like, you know. This is why you delay games,
The horse
because
would
you're
just
like,
be
yeah, it's like this is why you delay games, to make sure that you're putting out, especially when it's a full price game.
Yeah, let's just hope that they don't do what Mighty Number 9 did after their delays.
They're like, you know what? Fuck it, screw delay, and they just slid that out.
Just fucking release it. I don't want to work on this anymore.
I'm tired. Gotta go home. But on other announcements, holy crap.
Yeah, next up coming up, right before E3 comes out, Ubisoft drops this bomb on us. And then, if y'all haven't seen this YouTube video, y'all should go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to the stream. Far Cry 5 was announced.
What's that? Oh shit, Far Cry 5?
Yeah, just check it out.
We must atone.
Something is coming. You can feel it, can't you? You can feel that we are creeping towards the edge. I know that you are out there. And I know that you are in pain. For my children, I'm here to tell you that suffering is a choice, and you can choose a better path. We want you.
Oh, this is the most peaceful Far Cry ever.
And we will take you.
What's the scariest place we could find?
Oh shit.
And someone may
Montana.
Nobody wants to go to Montana.
think us.
You know, they've been to South America, they've been to Asia, now it's like,
You are my children.
we need to top it. Montana. There you go.
No, please don't make me go. And they got the country music. And the
Right.
dude's got like a spear in his back.
The antagonist is Rascal Flats.
And not only that, who's the enemy? A religious nuthead.
You know, I think that's the best part because like
Yes.
it's so engaging because, you know, a lot of the time you're just like in a Far Cry game, oh my god, why is the bad guy so weird? Like, these guys exist in real life.
Yes. Yes. There are people who would like, okay, maybe not to the manhunting level.
Yeah.
There's been not that many criminals who actually perform manhunting, which is releasing a person into the wild and then just hunting them for fun. But I like that they're tackling this. I really like that they're tackling this. And I read an article on it, an interview with one of the developers, and they said that this is the perfect time to release it because it's about not being able to be at peace at your own home. It's about being threatened at your own home, not having to work, having to rest, having to do all that, but never be able to live at peace because there's some crazy nuthead there.
Always there.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
He might
thoughts,
come for
Jordan?
you next.
Well, while I was watching that demo, my stream kind of stuttered a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like Far Cry.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever been able to run a single Far Cry. I've never been up to date with it.
the engine, the requirements.
Yeah, but after watching LPs, global events, it's interesting that they chose one here in America.
Yeah, especially after Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 was not good. It did, like, the whole caveman thing, I don't think that
Yeah.
many people bid for that
Mm.
one.
It was Far Cry 3 like with extra features on top. Just
Yeah, the thing
laid.
is, it's like Far Cry 3 Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was better than that one, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Although the thing is that did seem that they put some effort into Far Cry 4, because the map of Far Cry 4 was completely different from Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 was two islands. Spoilers. If you haven't played that game.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
sorry, it's been out for 10
Yes.
years, go fucking play it.
Yeah. Far Cry 4 was really mountainous. That was the thing, but it just felt like an extension of Far Cry 3. Far Cry 5. I
And that's-
hope the story is what brings it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really looks like it because it seems like characters in this setting haven't really been explored as much. Like, you have a lot of the more modern games, kind of like this reminded me a lot of The Last of Us, honestly, because it's like modern. It's like people are going fucking crazy. I mean, like you don't have a disease or anything like in the other game, but in Far Cry it's like you have real human beings. It's like modern day or modern-ish day, right? And it's it's believable, and that adds another dimension to the game, which a lot of games lack when you have the fantasy setting, because you know in Far Cry 5 you won't even have to suspend your disbelief because people like this stuff, like, it doesn't go this crazy all the time, but shit like this does happen.
Yeah, shit like this does happen, and especially like religious extremists are the hot topic right now. But it's mostly on the Muslim side. I do like that they're bringing it to Christianity just as a,
And it's like, y'all are crazy too.
exactly, and like, sure, it's Muslims now, but in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it can be Christianity. It can be like, it doesn't stop there, and I hope the NPCs are believable because I think that's what's gonna gather you into the world. Because sure, you might have like a crazy cool character like the Far Cry 3 bad guy, but I do hope that the world of Hope County, Montana, has real people that you see are struggling with this crazy guy. Like, the NPCs are what are gonna sell you the world, and I hope that they go away from the crazy dumb NPCs from Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 because they were the same, and they do have like a little bit more storytelling, something like I'm trying to think of a game that did it better. I mean, the all Mass Effect series just had really cool NPCs that all told a niche story and their own perspective on a problem. I think that's what's gonna sell Far Cry 5. Just being able to sell that world. Like, if it has the same features as Far Cry 4, if whatever,
Yeah.
the story is what you're relying on heavily. Deliver that to me, and you'll be good.
Yeah, let's be honest. The combat and the gameplay of Far Cry, there's not that much to it, but if you have good characters, it'll make it worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Then you'll make me play it to try to find out more. Then, like, the Far Cry gameplay, it's already
you
pretty much
collect-
evolved to.
Yeah, you collect shit. You know, you make your guns a little bit better, and then you do that times 1,000.
You get new perks that allow you to
Do something
little things
a
here
little
and
bit
there.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need a change in the formula. I just need a story that makes me want to play that formula rather than be like, oh, I have to deal with this again.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
And I'm excited to see it in E3. The fact that they're announcing it right now means that it's going to be heavily featured
Coming
on
up.
E3.
Oh, dude, I can't
Yeah.
wait for the E3 episode.
It's gonna be...
You're gonna have to put aside 5
just
hours
stream
of
E3.
time.
Yeah, that's exactly the amount of hour I was gonna say. I was
Yeah.
like, that's gonna be a 5-hour episode. In fact, why don't we do it live? Like, we'll have to figure out, but why don't we just
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right, I'll let you take this one away. I know you've been waiting for this one for a long time.
Okay, so it's been almost a fucking
312 days.
almost just like what the hell? What the hell, Valve? Like, so operations for those people that don't know, like you, Jordan, are basically you have your game of Counter-Strike. An operation will be the event. So like Overwatch has their own events, but CS:GO with every past operation in the past, I'm gonna say 3 years. Before operations were like little things that you can get. In the past 3 years, they always try to improve it, try to add something new on the new operation. And this one, this might as well be another game.
Yeah, they're just like, here you go. You know all that shit that you were bitching about? I'm gonna take that away from you.
Yeah,
You
there's
can't complain anymore.
no reason. So not only you got 30 co-op missions and 1 campaign, you have a new competitive game mode, you have... And I haven't been able to play it. It came out the day I was traveling. Like, I am so... I want to play this. Headshots only the end, which before you had to rely on community servers. Under Gatherer, where you get the dog tags when you kill it, sort of at the COD.
Here, we'll just go down the list on the site.
Yeah. Oh, done the Operation Hydra.
Here, you can talk about these as I scroll through.
Alright. So, Wingman, put your friendship on the line so it's 2v2 instead of 5v5. So it's a little bit like if you want to play a faster paced CSGO, but also, like, you know, more solidly relying on you. Weapons esper, which means once you bought the weapon, you're done. You cannot buy that weapon anymore. So you better know how to freaking shoot every single weapon. Competitive skill group based on the Operation Hydra. So, you know, you already have your skill group, which tells you your general level, but this will tell you how good you are currently. It's like if you restart your skill group.
And this one is also specific to Wingman and Weapons Expert.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically a rank for those war games. Heavy assault suit, that's crazy because you other operations had to fight people with a heavy assault suit, and they were obviously they were the bots, and they were like a bullet sponge, and sometimes they kill you. Like sometimes they literally just you will lose at one of these. The fact that you can buy it now, that's gonna be so much fun. You can be just
for the low price of 6,000.
Yeah, exactly. You have to work your way there. But once you get it and get a Negev and you just go, like, literally just, like, Rambo in, just freaking in. That's gonna be so much fun. Or that has to be so much fun. I haven't played it. Keep going. Headshots only. That's the best way to practice for me. I really like it because if you can focus on such a small target, I think then you can sort of readjust during game. Before you could only access this deathmatch through community servers. The fact that it's now supported by Valve, really good move. And then the COD version of CS:GO, that whenever you kill, you get a duck tag. I mean, at least it's score points, and but it's COD. I mean, people like that about COD, so.
We'll take it. It's a little gimmicky, but it makes deathmatch, because some people don't join deathmatch just to warm up. You know, some people like to
Yeah.
play deathmatch.
Right.
Except he never plays deathmatch.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe he has a reason now to score some more points and
Yeah,
everything.
so he can play COD.
This one looks so much fun. So instead of having you only have it's just close quarters. You have the knife and the Zeus. The Zeus is like it's just a taser. It's just a really short range weapon
Except
that
it's
is
a
one shot
taser
kill.
that kills.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. The idea is that once you taste them, they're eliminated. This is gonna be like so much fun. Usually you'll have to check every corner in CS, but you have to wait to react. You basically maybe pre-fire.
Yep. And the only
And,
weapons that you can use in this one are the Zeus, the knife, and any grenade. And it's also important to note that if you miss with the Zeus, unlike the regular game, you don't drop it.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
30
you don't
seconds.
just. Which is in CS:GO, that's a long time. So be careful when you use it.
What is the Zeus?
It's a taser. It's technically a
taser.
taser,
Yeah, it's a
but it's
one-shot
a one-shot kill on short range. Very,
Oh,
very
dang.
short range.
Mm-hmm.
The flying scoutman. So
Oh, yes!
People-
Is this low gravity?
Yes!
yes,
Low gravity,
gravity.
sniper rifles!
and not a one-shot sniper rifle, a two-shot body or one-shot headshot. So it's like you're just gonna be crazy going up and down, low gravity. You also have your knife, so you can shoot them, and then just run at or jump at them and just knife them. Oh, this is so much like
Yeah. Valve knows.
This is a classic game mode. It's been a long time coming.
and now Valve has it officially, and like you can queue for this rather than have to look for a server for this. Oh, and I really like this one, but I don't know how popular it'll be. The next one, you lose health for every shot you miss, so it really discourages spraying. It'll really and it really encourages another gameplay because you might peek and then just hide, peek and hide, and that's killing your enemy. The fact that they're trying to shoot you and then you just like it says in the description, that throw them into throw a grenade. So if you know a guy has been shooting a lot, you know they're almost low, and it encourages to play differently. Maybe you can spray at the beginning, but then after that you have to go for like one clicks. That's all you can do. But wait, that's not all.
Maps.
Alright. The maps are a little disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah, they're kind of meh. But
They
Agency's back at least, dude. I love Agency.
you like it, but
It's fun to
not my
play.
favorite. It's not my favorite. I would have liked to see another mix of maps. But I'm excited for the new one. I did play Agency when it was out last time, and I just didn't like it. I think it was mostly the people I play with, just both on the enemy team and my team were not that great, but I do hope the new maps, the new custom maps are good. People I think were expecting to see Season back, we're expecting to see a lot of other maps back, and this was a little bit of a failure, but I think Valve just wanted to show off some new maps more than bring back old maps. And yeah, I mean,
We finally
your
have an
code.
operation.
You get your coin, you get your genre, yeah, your regular operation stuff. You get a new case, you get drops.
Oh, and
Freaking
also,
after
I
a
want to
year.
note that Blizzard's release date was really clever. It just so
You mean Valve?
happened. Oh yeah, not Blizzard. Blizzard's. Involves Blizzard, but getting
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
of myself. Valve released Operation Hydra on Overwatch's birthday. Boom!
The event, their event.
Yeah.
So-
it's like, hey, fuck you.
I mean, I think Valve had it already scheduled, But they had to know Overwatch was gonna do something for their birthday. Like they had to know,
Hmm.
and it's a clear like Valve just saying, "All right, let's fight. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
Let's
like,
go. Let's see who."
remember, our game is more popular than your game, even though it's not right now. But more people have
But
played CS than have played
but
Overwatch.
the thing is that the amount of content this operation has,
It's staggering.
it's
There's
just
so much.
like Jordan. Just for a frame of reference, before they'll do one game mode, the new maps, and then the campaign and co-op missions, and that's it. That was it. They're releasing like 4 or 5 game modes. They're releasing they're releasing a bunch more maps, like a couple, 2 or 3 more than usual. It's insane.
Yeah,
I'm
like an entirely new game. And one thing I thought was interesting is it seems very skill based. Um, Overwatch and CS:GO were both competing for the MLG spots. So I think it's interesting that they do this in addition to dropping it on Overwatch's birthday, so that they can just sweep Overwatch away and have CS:GO as the go-to FPS for any pro sports.
for people that wanna like for people just I I think it's gonna be interesting. Like, is Blizzard gonna meet the amount of players that we're expecting for Overwatch players, and is Valve gonna meet the amount of players that we're expecting for this operation? Because it's also been almost a year. Like it's just a few days away from a year,
Yeah.
a month away from a year.
I think that this operation, more so than the previous operations, are gonna get people to come back because there are definitely some players that pick up CS around the time of the major and around the time of an operation, and then in
Yeah.
between that they don't play it at all. But I think Operation Hydra is unique enough and content heavy enough that they're gonna get a lot of people back.
Yeah, yep. It's a lot of people, especially because the coin gives you the bonus, so you can level up faster. So you can level
New
up your account to level
skins.
1. New skins, pretty cool new
Oh yeah,
skins.
let me keep going. That's actually next. Here's also the new Diamond
Oh yeah,
Operation
you can,
Hydra. You can go, I don't know what you have to do to get it to Diamond. Probably every single mission, but
yeah,
Diamond.
I believe so.
Ooh.
Fancy coin. Yeah, go to the case. Like, there's some pretty meh ones, but there's some cool ones like that. The P9 is no, I just moved to the up and the M4. That's worth
Oh, okay, we're just gonna skip right through. I'm a fan of this AK because I like red.
it. Yeah, okay, yeah. I've actually been waiting for a red AK a little bit last year, but
A lot of these are just generic textures. I mean, these are the low tier guns.
yeah, those are the ones that you're just gonna. That M4, whew, it's just simple enough. You got that red light.
It's like a shitty Cyrex though. I like this USP.
Yeah, the USB is really cool. It's really cool.
And this op, oh my god, this op. It's legit. Oh my god. It like compete. And this 5.7. Oh,
Dude,
it's the
look at that
perfect
thing.
gun. Oh, it is
Dude, that
scary.
tongue.
You know, we're just
That
gonna go
tongue.
back and forth between these two. Oh, they're the best by far. I just like the Asian theme on the op. It'll
Yep.
compete with the dragon lore. Maybe not in price, but in looks.
It looks, yeah, and the M4A4, it's not bad. It's not my style,
I think
but
it's a
not
little
bad.
overdone, but I always like the weird ass skins that they make for the Galil. It's like they want that gun to be a rainbow.
It's been a rainbow. It's been a Nerf gun. It's been like just,
America.
A Nerf gun. And
it's,
isn't there some kind of marketplace around all these guns and skins?
Yes.
Like some like
Hush,
isn't that like a whole
hush.
thing, like a stock market?
Yeah, yes. There's pretty much like not anymore now that gambling is down, but they
Well, you
still
could
have
gamble.
well, you could
Yeah,
gamble,
before
and I
that
believe
was a big thing, but Valve kind of cut down on it. You can still do it, but it's not as popular.
it's not as popular, and it's mostly because freaking YouTubers were like, "Ooh, I can make this company. I don't know any fucking laws or shit about making companies, but I'm gonna make it." And a lot of
Everybody wanted a piece of the
gambles.
pie.
Yeah, they basically just
They were making companies
they
like
were
what?
like just a gambling site, but obviously you
Oh,
need a company to like hold all those assets and manage all the money, all the income, and then they use their own YouTube channels of the YouTubers or Twitch streams of the people that were making it to advertise those, but they never disclose that they own those. So if you advertise um, a gambling service, but you do not disclose that you own the same gambling service you advertise, and add on top of that, they have the back they have the back end. Like they don't necessarily they can. Some of them it's still sketchy whether they could control the results or not, but they do have the seed of keys. They do have the seed of when the results gonna happen, like when they're technically higher percentage to win, etc. Because they do have the seed of the back end. That's your RNG. They had that seed, so they were able to, oh, I'm gonna put my highest value weapon right now,
Gonna
get a shit
risk
ton of
it.
viewers. Exactly, get a shit ton of viewers because I'm putting my high weapon on a crazy gamble that I know I have 95% percentage of win because my server's telling me that.
I think that's a
So
discussion for a different time.
yes, but that's basically what
that's the whole
happened.
thing. Wow.
That's basically what happened, and then obviously to avoid any legal backlash and everything, because online gambling, especially governments, really hate it. Valve was like, "We're cutting. You can still do it. You can
Like
still do it
it
for
just got
matches and
real.
stuff. You can still do it for matches and stuff, but you cannot gamble skins with other skins anymore." And
I see. So you put up skins against other skins.
before you could do that, now it's only like, oh, I'm gonna bet this game, like these people are gonna win this game or
Yeah,
something.
people just
Oh, I
bet
see.
cash now.
Oh, into a
Yeah,
pool. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Alright,
interesting.
let's move on to the next topic before we jump into the
Divine
whole
tie.
of CS:GO gambling. I don't know about
Divine.
y'all, but this is a game that I've been looking forward to for a while.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought I thought I had played the first one of these games, but I think I played like back in the day, first one of these games.
Oh, before Original Sin? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
But Divinity Original Sin 2 recently received a release date this week, and it's going to be coming out on September 14th, 2017. So I'm glad that they finally have a date. You know, that means they're getting close. That means that the game's probably pretty much done at this point.
Yeah.
And I am very excited. I love the Divinity games. At least the last one, and this one's proved to be very similar. And
Mhm.
when we tried it at PAX, it was
Mhm.
a lot of fun. More Divinity. It's always a good thing.
For me, it wasn't fun because the guy behind me was like holding my hand throughout the game, me and the person I was playing with. But nonetheless, I pretty much pre-ordered. I bought the early access and I played it again, and it was the same thing at PAX, and I had so much more fun because at that point I could do whatever. During PAX, yeah, I was distracted basically.
Jordan, you played Divinity, the first one, right?
hmm I really enjoyed how similar it was to D&D. I love the RPG archetypes
Yeah,
and skilling your
yeah.
characters. And it reminded me of kind of a cross of Diablo and D&D and a little bit of WoW too. And it was an absolute blast. I can't wait for Divinity 2.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite styles of games. You know, the good old what do we call it? The Baldur's Gate style of games where it's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
you control the whole party. You know, each character has their own stats. They have their own inventory. They have their own storylines. The NPCs interact with the characters different ways. Like you can build them, and you can skill. You know, you don't have to have a warrior or like a priest. Like you can have a dude that
Yeah.
dual wields and heals, or you can have the crazy interactions with the spells and all of the items that are available in the game. My favorite thing was always to, you know, put oil on the ground and then blow him up.
It's the poor man's fireball.
You know, if there's, I mean, if somebody, I don't know who put this oil barrel here, but I'm gonna throw it at you and then blow it up.
Yeah. No, it's and this one just looks to be the original Divinity, but with a lot more that you can do, like a lot more control over your character while he wears, a lot more control over the party, and when you play co-op, you guys can go wherever you guys wish, split the party however you wish. Like you no longer have to be on the same like screen. Like it's a it's I'm just waiting for it to come out because the early access is only the first chapter.
Oh, that taste.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's like the first spoonful of the soup, and then you're like, all right, you cannot have it until later this year.
I want the rest of it, please. I'm super excited about this feature the most. 4-player co-op. The original Divinity, Original Sin only had 2-player co-op, but this one's gonna have 4-player
4-player.
co-op. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to blow up 3 people instead of just one.
Yeah.
Sorry, my fireball missed.
Yeah, you can have it's basically like D&D at that level. You can have conflicting objectives.
You cannot play a mage.
It's okay, I'll just play Archer instead. Oops,
Oh,
my
shit.
arrow missed and it's in your back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my bad. All these arrows. Oh, damn, my accuracy is so low. All these rolls.
I'm never gonna run out of arrows again. Just pull them out of my back.
Yeah, and there's a lot more interactions between, like, for example, combined elements with fire and poison. There's a lot of more world interactions. Like, if you walk through water, you get wet. That's always, but they've introduced more and how to interact with those, and I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. Like, the thing is that this is a game you can keep coming back to, because every playthrough is going to be completely different. It's altogether different. You have new people. You know, you might have the same players, but you play as different character. You do different stuff. You take the storyline differently. You maybe pillage village. Like you might just play like a freaking pillager and just pillage every village you walk upon. It's gonna be cool.
Yes, I'm very excited for it. Any last thoughts, Jordan?
RPGs all the way, man.
Yeah.
All the way.
Can't wait for Divinity Original Sin. And on the topic of new releases, let's go ahead and go into the new releases segment.
Yes.
So, first, I'm not a huge Fire Emblem fan, but there's a new Fire Emblem game that came out earlier this week, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I haven't picked up a Fire Emblem game in a while, but I might be picking this up for the 3DS. Wiping the dust off.
Why do we already have a Switch? I mean, that's not portable at all. I'm sorry, Nintendo, don't hit me. I have the original Fire Emblem, the first one that came out for the 3DS. I played a little bit of it, but I really like the tactics style game and the RPG style.
My thing
It's
has
just
always been
didn't
that
grab me.
the time, and I just don't
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
time to put into a game that's this big that I did in like high school or junior high, you know?
Where you could also bring your 3DS at school and not play during class, because we never did that.
Don't do
But
that.
like, no, we did not suggest it. But play in your time off, waiting for your parents to pick you up. Like all that stuff.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess I
that's-
shouldn't be too surprised at the Fire Emblem games getting good reviews, but I don't know. It's just been a minute since I played a tactics style game, and I've been itching for it. But There's a
You can say
lot.
that again.
There's so many good games out right now that I don't even know if I'll have time for it.
Where are the tactics games, by the way? Like, I've been looking for one on the PC. I cannot find any.
Yeah, the only things you got left on the PC are roguelikes and Grimrock.
Honestly.
I tried to remember if I saw a tactic game that was coming to PC.
And then another
Hold
thing
that
coming
thought.
out this week. Came out just a few days ago. This was
Disgaea
actually
5 Complete is a
one
strategy
that was out previously, except it was only available on the Japanese eShop for the Nintendo Switch. Disgaea 5 Complete. So it's pretty much Disgaea 5 with updated graphics and all of the DLC.
Yep.
And for those of y'all who aren't familiar with the Disgaea series, think JRPG cliches cranked up to 11. See, look
Yeah,
at that.
basic-
They're hitting people with a stack of people.
Yep.
It's not even the
basically-
final four.
This game
Disgaea-
is a meme game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And the mechanics is like, they sat in a room and they're like, what if we could micromanage everything?
Yeah. The stats in this game are completely ridiculous. Late game, your stats are in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and it's just complete abomination. Jordan, this is a strategy game. It's a tactic style game, actually. It's anime as fuck, and the most ridiculous thing ever. See, that person just hit him for 2.4 million. And
it's probably
and
negligible.
didn't kill them, yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
If you like your
It's
fan
great.
service, if you like your anime, if you like your tactics, Disgaea 5.
Yeah, this is one of those games that don't grab any other game while you're playing this, because then you're never gonna finish this game.
Yes.
You just won.
I want to finish Persona 5 before 2017 ends.
Good,
How are you
good
still
luck.
on it yet?
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Have you noticed that every persona is color coded differently?
Yes, they all have their
Yeah.
themes.
It's cool. It's cool.
Next up, we got the Morrowind expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online. This came out on the 22nd.
From the
and-
grave.
Right? So the context is a little bit different in this one, because in this version of the Elder Scrolls, it is in the past. So it's not the game that it's not the world that you played through in Morrowind. It's before everything went to shit, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't play Morrowind. You might know more about this one, Jordan.
Pretty much everything went to shit. I'm not sure of the timeline in this one, but it would make a lot of sense just to avoid repeating yourself and to just keep players from being depressed. Morrowind was such a great game. Well, I guess brown is a better word to use.
So it looks
But-
like this is the major theme. Save Morrowind. Stop a meteor from crashing into Vivek City by helping a demigod regain his lost powers. Is that familiar?
Not really, no.
Honestly, that just sounds like Thursday on the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, oh, somebody's trying to blow everything up again. Well,
Well, you gotta go
stop
to
'em.
the demigod.
I mean,
You go to the
I wish I had time to play Elder Scrolls Online, because this game was fun when I tried it in the free weekends, and they also
Yeah.
released a new class called the Warden, and the Warden can have a bear, and bears are cool. See his bear? Look at that bear.
Yeah. Oh, spoilers, you succeed. Meteor, as far as I know, never hits the city.
Vivek City? I don't know that city. I didn't
Yeah.
play Morrowind.
It's the place, but I don't remember that. But yeah, dude, the bear, they put pets in this.
Oh, and they got what you call it, dwarven technology. They're
Yeah.
focusing on dwarven technology, and
It's called Dwemer, okay?
okay, fine, yes.
It's a
So
race
let
of
me put
elves.
on my bifocals.
And anyway, so I guess in there they'll have backstory on them.
That would be cool.
hmm
They're a mysterious bunch.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls, this is basically Skyrim Online. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty much Skyrim. Yeah, it's Skyrim Online. If you like that or not, that's up to you. But it's Skyrim Online.
Yeah.
One thing about Skyrim was the open world exploration. That's actually one thing I'm looking forward to in Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
just
especially
going
in
out
the
there and
old
being something
Western
weird.
themed. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
exciting stuff.
Yeah. What's this?
Yeah, next up on the list, we got Guilty Gear XRD Rev 2 upgrade. So pretty much what is
That's
going
a
on with Guilty
mouthful.
Gear, yeah, right? So pretty much what happened is that Guilty Gear XRD Revelation was released. I believe it was sometime last year, and the Rev 2 upgrade is basically like Season 2 in Street Fighter 5. So what they're doing is they've released 2 new characters. They're doing a lot of character rebalancing. They actually have expanded their modes that they've added to the story, and they've added arcade modes for all of the characters. So then the single player experience is there too. You know, you don't just have to play people online. And I believe they also improved how the game performs on your computer now, which is nice. I actually picked this up on the PS4, so I'm not going to be playing it on Steam because most of the community is on the PS4, I believe.
Cool.
So if you like fighting games, this will be featured at Combo Breaker this weekend if you want to check it out before you buy it.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool because it doesn't come
this
out
game is
until after
anime
the
as
week.
fuck. Yeah, so what happened is it's out now on the PS4 and it comes out on the 31st for Steam.
Okay.
And then next on the list, I have something that's not really a new release, but Awesome Knots just went free to play this week. I thought this was really, really random and completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever play Awesome Knots?
Awesome.
I did.
It's a MOBA, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 3v3 side-scroller MOBA. It was. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun, but it wasn't
we played it, yeah.
there wasn't that much game. Like, you know, it's 3v3 MOBA side scroller.
Yeah,
you can't do much.
there was barely any jungling. If you, the items were very shallow, but it was nonetheless very fun.
Yeah, it was like, you know, one of those games that you pick up once in a while and you play with friends. Because I think the only reason that we played it was because it was free on PSN.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much why.
I mean, it's really interesting because now they made it free to play. I wonder if they're trying to, you know, get a resurgence of community in the game, because I'm sure it's all but dead. This game came out in 2012. It's almost 5 years old. But I just thought that was interesting. I'm just wondering if this will bring back a community to this game.
I don't think you'll, like, you know, I've rarely heard of a game that just goes to free to play and just like, oh yeah, it's great again. I think it's just more, it was due, especially with all the different MOBAs that you have now and all the different variations on this that you have.
Yep.
They either had to like come out with a new game to compete, or they make this free to play and try to, like, you know, maintain casual players that don't want to, you know, don't want to play Dota, don't want to play League, but do want to play this style of game.
Yeah, it's
Although,
like, I don't know. It seems like the kind of like the Mario Party of
yeah,
MOBAs.
pretty much. Like, it's just, you know, I just want to play this for fun. I have some fun with it, and the fact that it's free to play, it's gonna allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Hire the Boogos to steal your Infinity Edge. Ah, damn it!
That's all I got for new releases. Y'all have anything interesting that was released this week?
Not as far as I know. I believe a lot of games are just being held out, especially for E3, to showcase.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be looking forward to E3 the next coming weeks. But so moving away from games and into tech this week, AlphaGo has beaten
I read that.
another top Go player.
I read that.
You know about this one, Jordan? I
Yeah,
know
I
you
know
play
about that
Go.
one.
I'll let you take this one.
AlphaGo is just fucking hacks. It's just a huge computer with like quadrillions of preset games that have been played, and it can predict the outcome hundreds of moves in advance. And it was an upset when it defeated the previous Go world champion. And there he said it again. It's just not fair, because the game of Go can be reduced like that to presets, just to logical outcomes, and humans
But
will
it's
make
insane.
a mistake.
There's so many
It's-
places that you can, like, it's not like chess. Like, you're not barred by movement. It's crazy though. Like, the amount of processing that is required to determine how to beat the #1 Go player, because the amount of places that you could put the tiles, it's ridiculous.
Beat
machines are-
consistently. Not only just beat in a one okay, no, beat consistently.
Yeah. Because last
machines
year,
are-
Lee Sedol.
That was his name. Yeah, Lee Sedol. He lost one match because the machine was enigmatic, and it placed a piece in a spot that made absolutely no sense at the time.
Yeah, it was learning, right?
Yeah, it was
was
probing
learning.
Lee Sedol.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
to
And
see
then-
how it would react.
Yeah.
And
'Cause it used
yeah,
that. It used that knowledge in the next match, didn't it?
it did.
Oh my god.
It did.
Computers.
And yep,
It-
Lee Sedol actually used that to defeat the computer in the first round, and it picked up on that. It's like, no, dude, it's not gonna fly. And then it trumped him. He lost all of the next matches. Like, he lost 4 matches in a row
Yeah.
after that
Yeah.
first one.
It was just like, and just a little mention, Chinese government complete censorship on this.
It's weird.
Oh.
They censored it.
Yeah.
Completely, like
Oh shit.
no broadcasting, no live streaming, no notifications, no, like, it's as if the game wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
No one was able to report on it in any way, shape, or form
Until
while the game was
after,
going.
yeah.
Oh shit.
It's weird because
Well-
that's why, because you'll see this article was actually released on May 24th, Wednesday. The game happened on Tuesday.
Hmm.
It's strange. I guess the
Oh.
pride, you know, because
Yeah.
Keji is the #1
Yeah.
ranked Go player in the world.
Yeah.
And competing against Google, which the Chinese government hates. So it's like one of those, like, China is like, the Chinese government is, well, they don't hate it, but Google doesn't want to be in China because of Chinese censorship. But the fact that just wrecked him, like, it's
Yeah.
it's insane.
It's just not even fair. Bow to a machine overlords.
Yeah, no, it's like okay, I'm glad I'm in this generation, because my kids and my grandkids will have to deal with AI, rebelling or whatever.
But in the meantime, I can go wild with it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let's have this. Let's have a machine just wreck Go players, demoralize them.
Do you think we have a
It turns
chance,
out-
Jordan?
Well, hopefully Overwatch is a documentary. Then we have a chance.
No, I think they won't be able to rebel, because once we start putting machines in our own body.
Haha.
Someone actually did that.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying, that robotic upgrades to your own body are coming. So if a machine tries to rebel, you're like, hey, I'm one of you.
Ooh. Takes over the host. Some dudes actually put little radio transmitters into their wrists, and they use it to open doors.
Yeah, I've heard about
So,
that. Was
yeah.
it radio transmitters? I thought it was
May have
more...
just been a magnet.
I thought it was more like magnets or RFID.
Could just be a magnet. Yeah, it could be RFID actually. I know magnetic implants have actually been kind of common for
Yeah,
a while now. People get
are
magnets in their fingers. Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
But I think putting technology in there, I mean, why not? Despite going against every law of nature, why not? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Yep.
Alright, I don't even know why we're talking about this next thing, but Daniel added it.
Because this is bringing high quality drums to like not even prosumers. These are bringing high quality drones to anybody that wanted them. DJI makes
Ah, cool.
the highest quality of drones, but their Mavic, what's it? No, the Phantoms were usually over $1,000 more. Like once you bought everything equipment for the high quality, recording 4K everything drone, you spend about $2,000 to $3,000. Then they released the DJI Mavic, which was smaller, but it was still $1,000. This DJI Spark, it's $500. So
Okay.
it's 500 back, and it's the
Getting
size
there.
of the palm of your hand. It's it's like this size. The body is this size. I'm not even kidding. The body is the same size as an S8. And I have an S7, but the S7 is the same size as this S8. It's $500 for everything that you need to run it, except for the controller, but you can use your phone. Um, and it's limited at 1080p. Oh no, it doesn't have all the fancy features. But now, like, I think this is the first step. Wait till next year. Like, you see how many people have like DSLRs now and everything, even though they're not
Oh
photographers, but they use
god. Drones.
Yup, yup,
Oh
yup, yup,
You got drone
no.
yup,
kids,
yup.
you got drone racers, you got
Mhm.
everything. You
So
got
not only will the laws get more complicated because now we have to control it, now it's gonna be, next to the sign that says no selfie sticks, no drones,
No
drones.
drones. God.
because people are gonna try to use it indoors in
Oh,
museums.
Jeez.
People are gonna try to. I'm happy because that means people like me who I would love to have a drone, but I don't want to invest 30,000. Like I know I will
yeah.
use it, but I don't want to invest 30,000. So, and I know what I will do with it. Like I have a vision as to what I will do with it. Um, and it has all like software-wise, it has all the same features, or most of the same important features as the $1,000 one. Like it has the active track where you can keep walking and it'll follow you and film you. You can use it with your phone and see what you have. You can do gestures like Star Wars and it'll react to it. So you can do like this to take a picture or stuff like that. It has the camera stabilizes like down. You just can't turn this way, but it stabilizes up and down and inside rotation. Um, I mean, just get ready. Like it's $500. This makes it accessible to everybody, and it's high quality because you've seen plenty of little drones or whatever. DJI is the GoPro of drones basically, and the fact that it's $500 means that you might like look outside and see like a little DJI Spark just floating there.
So alright, so if y'all want to support the show, please donate so we can get a DJI Spark and capture
For each
all of
one
our
of us.
moments live.
Each one of
Every
us,
moment.
it's one.
Yeah.
It, yeah. I mean, Europe's so that's 500 euros for me. So you consider that. Um, and I mean, battery is removable. It has 20-minute flight time, which is for a drone that's more than enough. And the fact that you can remove the battery and replace it means that that can be extended. You don't have to like lay it down and charge it or anything. You can just take out the battery, put in another one, and feature-wise, it looks perfect.
And then to clarify, this is kind of like the iPhone of drones, right? Like you buy, like if you're very, very into drones, you might not be into this one, right?
Yeah, you might, unless the size appeals to you. Like maybe you're trying to bring drones everywhere with you, and with the other one you already bought, this doesn't fit. But if you're Casey Neistat, you already are
He
like
has
all
like
hooked
5
up.
of those phantoms, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're already hooked up. You don't care about this little guy. Maybe he'll use it on a thing here and there, but it's not the main. It's not the
That
main guy. This,
guy is like DJI's #1 customer. I'm sure he's gonna get one for free, and it's gonna be featured on his show.
it already did. It already happened. He had
Okay.
Marcus Brownlee on that video as well.
Well, there you go. Covered all of the bases in one video.
He got a pre-production unit as well to review. So yeah, but this is exactly you're gonna go to the zoo. You're gonna see people try to bring in drones. You're gonna like same thing with the selfie stick, except a little bit more dangerous because what's gonna
Some
happen
drone
with
could
that
fall
drone
on
hits?
you
Yeah,
at 50 kilometers per hour. It's about 30 miles an hour. It's pretty quick.
The ultimate MySpace angle.
the,
20 feet in the air.
Dude, think of the potential of the selfies. It's like
Because-
you can make your drone pretend like you actually have somebody taking a picture of you, when in reality, you don't.
You're
It's just a
whoa.
selfie.
you have a full body selfie now.
Yes. The world will never know how lonely I am now.
You will never need a mirror to take a selfie. You can just have a full body selfie anytime you want.
Joan do it.
So
We are not sponsored by DJI.
I wish.
Could be. For a drone.
Unfortunately.
I would put so much content up
If we
with
were
my drone.
sponsored by DJI, we would be doing Let's Plays outside in the park with the drone filming, right?
We just
Let's
be
play
on our computers
basketball,
in a park.
guys. Yeah, we just need like a lapel mic to record our voices, and then we stream it on Twitch, and the drone follows us. So DJI, if you like that idea, hit us up.
Send us drones.
Yep.
All right, that wraps up the regular show, right? Anything else? That was the last topic, right?
Yes, I
All
believe
right.
so. Yeah.
That
That's it.
wraps up the regular show, but now it's time for our favorite part of the show, the random bullshit.
Time for random bullshit.
All
I
right,
didn't.
you're up first,
I was-
Daniel.
I was on roaming, so I've had no time to look up for random bullshit. So
This one looks
This is gonna
pretty
be-
stupid.
I'm not gonna address it. Like I don't wanna, put myself on what my opinion is for cultural appropriation or anything.
It's not that kind of show.
It's idiotic, but I do have to say that the way this woman commented on how, like, they were asking themselves, not necessarily to be shot, but they were painting themselves as creepy ass ladies in Puerto Nuevo, Mexico, trying to figure out. So, this Mexican food car opened. It ran for actually several months. Then eventually, an interview of the two owners and owners and managers and cooks and everything come out talking about how they learned the techniques of a woman in Puerto Nuevo, Mexico, who made pretty unique tortillas according to them. So these women say that not only did they try to interview like a normal person do these cooks, but they also were peeking into windows of every kitchen.
They
Totally,
were peeping in
that's
the
it.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like-
no.
And also, they said that while in the interviews, the cooks didn't want to be bothered at all. Like, they said that the women were not talking that much to them and everything. So like this, imagine you're a Mexican lady making tortillas, and there's two women just hovering behind you. And you're like, I don't even speak your language. What the hell are
What
you
does-
doing with me?
Hold on. What does this have to do with cultural appropriation for this taco shop or whatever?
Because then you take it to the West Coast, which
Wait,
has a lot of.
so they're closing down because they took a recipe or they like mimicked a recipe
No,
from
because no, but rather because the people that were taking the recipe from were not giving their authorization. They were peeking into windows. They were talking to women who wouldn't talk back to them. And this is quotes that the women themselves say. Like these women needed a PR department
Oh.
or a marketing
So they
person
made
that was like,
themselves look bad. Oh my god.
yes, because
Nice.
these were words that came from the women. We were peeking into every window. We were talking to Mexican women that, didn't want to talk back to us. Like, it's like, what? Like, I think the talking it as cultural appropriation is taking it to an extreme.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
That is strange. So
I mean,
it's
they
like
just wanted
is-
some
what,
bomb-ass
that's
tortillas.
not cultural appropriation at all. Like what?
I mean,
a white
that's a
person's
huge-
a white person's not allowed to make Asian food? Like
No, that's another huge debate. That's another huge debate whether that is
Yeah.
cultural appropriation. And there's I think a sociologist would have to like step in to say what cultural appropriation is. It's more who goes to an interview and said, "Oh yeah, I just creeped out on these Mexican
Well-
women until they told me their recipe."
yeah, that is a really weird thing to say. But I mean, like on the flip side, like what is really stealing somebody's recipe? Like how like
It happens.
like,
think
that
it-
seems like
yeah.
a very common thing amongst like
Yeah, no, I
anybody that
mean,
has
like,
a
freaking-
restaurant. That's how culinary shit evolves.
You know,
I mean,
the cacao, like chocolate, wasn't made until like Americas were discovered, and cacao was brought, like and that created chocolate. Like stealing a recipe is not like taking a recipe and bringing it from another side. It's common. It happens all the freaking time, and I think it's a bit of an overreaction to call this cultural appropriation. I also think that these women were stupid, but like they just sound like creeps.
like,
That does sound weird. Like I don't know. Everything about this article is terrible.
Yeah, technically, it's like
there are no
This
winners.
article
There's no
would-
winners here. Like
it would make
yeah.
more
Now
sense.
Portland has
it's like
less
everyone's an
tortillas.
idiot,
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean,
except for
I-
the Mexican people that were making the tortillas. Like they're just
I
doing
mean,
their thing.
Yeah, they would be.
literally, I picked the brains of every tortilla lady there is
So
there in the worst broken Spanish ever, and they showed me a little of what they did. They told us the basic ingredients. Like,
That's so
obviously-
weird. Oh my god.
Sounds a little steely. A little steely.
But why do you say
little-
that in an interview? Like your claim to fame is your broken Spanish and like
Authenticity, I guess.
exactly, your claim to fame. It's like
Relatability.
because
Like, I went to the source.
you could
these
spin it
tortillas.
another way and be like, oh, when I went to Puerto Nuevo, I was inspired by these tortillas I
I stole their
tried.
shit.
I was inspired, and I talked to some ladies, and they showed me a little bit of what they did, and then we brought it back to Portland, and we tried our like. You could have said that, but no, they focused on how creepy they were with the woman. Like, just imagine the little poor Mexican lady making tortillas, rolling the dough, and then some like random white lady's like, "So how do you make this? Tell me everything about it."
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like, "I'm
like-
just rolling my dough."
This could have been spun by Fox too, just for sensationalism.
The original article I read wasn't from Fox. This was the one I found because
Oh.
I had closed it on my phone, and they had the same quotes and everything. When it came from the woman, and also, obviously,
Ah,
this
what a
is gonna
creepy
happen.
lady.
this is gonna happen in Portland. Had this happened in Texas, no one would have given a shit.
This wouldn't have even happened in Texas. These articles
Yeah, we already
wouldn't
have pretty.
existed. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
right, like it's common in Texas. Just look at like any taqueria on the street.
They
and
all
you'll
make
find
the
it.
same shit.
It's
Like
the same thing.
Mhm.
But
In fact,
like-
you wouldn't go to the taqueria
Oh.
with it too.
All right, I'm tired of talking about this article. We're gonna go to mine now. Mine's a
I
lot
wish-
more lighthearted and a lot stupider.
I got a
I do
story.
like yours. I saw it once. Yeah. Yeah.
What's yours?
It's the hitbox, the
Hitbox
hitbox
memes.
memes. So basically, for people that have never played like or are not familiar with the technicalities of games, most games that involve combat have some kind of hitbox that are associated with your attacks. And basically, the blue ones represent where you can be hit, and the red ones represent the attack. So it's just a
So-
bunch of fucking hitbox memes.
My favorite one is the dog.
No, we'll get
Dude,
to
you
that
just
one.
give it to
We'll
God.
get there. Dude, the freaking.
Yeah, he's doing it. Oh,
yeah.
he's doing. You see here, he's doing an overhead. He's doing an overhead.
It's a huge hitbox. That's
Yeah,
OP.
dude. This one was my favorite.
So the red hitbox is damage.
Oh yeah, he's I don't know. He's hitting that dude for sure.
Oh.
And then infiltration's definitely hitting this dude right there.
It's dangerous. Hit of all.
Yeah, dude. Buzz Lightyear. And then here's
really
Jordan's
like-
favorite one.
The dog.
Critical dog.
Don't let that dog touch you. Your shit's gonna get fucked.
No matter how friendly it seems.
That's all I got. There's nothing to discuss here. It's just
No,
a fucking
I just-
meme Twitter.
Oh, dude, I love it.
I'm just hoping that, like, I mean, it's a new one, so it's gonna eventually it's gonna get more and more, and it's gonna get big rate.
All right, Jordan. We end the show with your mind fuckery.
Ending with mine. All right, it's a little spacey ending here. So, this basically they have found a way to modulate electron states. Okay, so you could think of computers using electrons on and off. You have energy or you don't have energy, 0 or 1. That's kind of like a computer in black and white. There are, I think, 12 or 24, some crazy amount of states that an electron can possibly be in. And in this article, they have developed a technique to modulate one of them. This guy was doing it in the 80s, and now they're actually proving that it's real. So you can imagine that this is like computers in color. If it were a television, it's computers in color. And we've been in fucking black and white this entire time. So this is going to be really big when it comes to storing data, when it comes to emulation, when it comes to simulating realities, and even simulating intelligence. You can program entropy into a system and have it be completely unpredictable, more than any binary state. So it's just super duper, like, it's really cool. They can change the end result of an electron predictably now. So keep an eye out for that. You may find the term quantum computing coming out maybe in 20 years. We'll get
mean,
our first
so-
computer.
Make
It
sure you keep
already
us
comes
posted,
out here and
Jordan.
there.
I
Yeah,
will.
20 years.
I will. We're going to be computing in color, and it's going to be big.
By
Maybe
then,
you
the
do.
show's gonna be on TV.
Right?
And it's gonna be a 6K resolution.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm
like,
trying to read this. I don't know what the fuck I'm reading.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just gonna
a
show
really
I'm just
just
gonna
a
show the picture.
boring visual. Look at that picture. That's called the berry effect, but not because it looks like a berry, because the guy's name was Barry.
Oh,
They're doing That. No.
You see, in blue, that is
That with electrons.
traditional. Yeah, they're doing the red one, and they can make an
Ah.
electron do that predictably. The blue one is just kind of a standard
Whatever.
path. It's not really what orbitals look like, but that's just all the possibilities of orbitals, and they can now create the one in red. They
Yeah,
can do
so
that shit.
Long story short,
the-
none of us understand this article.
the basic idea I know of quantum computing is the you'll be able to process a lot more information faster because not only you'll be able to have to like calculate bits, just zeros and one, you'll be able to calculate like more than just that.
Yeah, 0 to 24 states instead of just on or
Exactly.
off. You've got an electron that's feeling kind of moody. You know, the electron's happy or sad, or it's gloomy. Those are the only states that I know of anyway. But I'm sure there's more out there.
Cheerful, scare, yeah.
Startled. That's a good one.
startle. Yeah, no. So
Raging.
when you have
or
access to
flash.
yeah, it's like when you have access to more when it comes to bits, it's like more information, then you can have either something go fast, like you can have calculations go faster, you can have it like, imagine deep learning with a quantum computer. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, you'll be able to process amounts of information that we haven't gotten to the, like,
Dude,
to process yet, like, or that would take us, like, a longer time to process. That's as much as I know of quantum computing, but it's gonna take a while. We're still at the we
like
figure out how
figuring
to
out
turn,
that it
like,
exists.
exactly, we're like figuring out how to run electricity to your house, like, or we're at the level of Alexander Graham Bell inventing the telephone when it comes to what is now the internet. So,
Yeah, exactly.
step by step.
Go players are fucked.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, you see what happened. You see what happened to this electron. That's what's gonna happen to the rest of the Go players.
You're done.
It's like by the time they like sit down, the computer's like, I'm not gonna play. It's like, why?
It's like
It's
that.
too easy. Like,
It's like there's no point.
yeah, no. Here's the solution, and here's the next game, and
Like,
here's the other
here's,
game.
it's like here's any possible thing that you were thinking about doing.
Yeah. Right.
The computer proves this to you, and then it pats you on the back.
Yeah.
That's it for our show. I think we're gonna close out with this music that you found, Jordan. I don't know what we're calling.
Dude.
I don't know what we're
It's
calling
pronounced.
this segment yet.
It's pronounced Muzak.
Muzak.
We'll
We don't have a name for this section yet. What is this? Walter Wenderly's Rainforest from 1966. Brazil's number
1966
one
edition.
organist.
A very fine year.
Okay. While you guys do that, I can show people the hotel by walking to my room.
Yeah, where are you staying?
And the only Hilton that there is in Malta.
Malta, that's right.
Yes.
It's probably gonna sound really racist, but have you gotten a malted shake?
God damn it!
I'm
I have
sorry.
I have not gotten any malt
Sorry.
beverage other than beer.
Oh, that's fine though.
It's funny. It's alright.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We will
Thanks,
see
everyone.
you next week. By next week, we'll have a schedule, I promise.
Schedule.
See y'all later.
Yatta.